this is what I thought I'd do, because I'm the kind of guy that talks about what I'm thinking about right now. So I'm going to share what I think are the big trends right now for making money, because there's 7 levers of wealth in my experience. I call them the 7 multipliers. If you run, who here, I'm going to poll the audience here. Who here, I'm going to play a game. I'm going to see how much people love money or don't care about it. What's your name right here? Hector. So I'm going to find your motivations. Humans have 4 motivations. I call them the 4 M's. First motivation is material things, money. Second motivation is mating, love, sex, family.
That's right. If I could just stop you for
Yeah.
seconds. Can you guys in the back just go take a seat up?
Can you in the back come up a little bit? Don't be shy.
Come on,
Don't be shy.
let's give Tai a lot of respect. Come all the way to the front.
It doesn't bother me.
I want everybody to be like close. Come to the front. And,
Come on up.
hey, these are the serious people.
Good. You know one thing I tell people, especially men, the world is cruel to shy men. So if you find yourself to be very shy, you're going to be fucked on this earth. I'm serious. Women can be shy and get away with it. Men that are shy, and I guarantee you some of you are shy, and you look back at your life and you're like, I missed out on 50 fucking amazing opportunities. Really. So learn to talk to strangers. Learn to be extroverted when you have to be. Don't ever worry. Once you're over 18 years old, you realize nobody cares about you anyway. So don't be self-conscious. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. So the 4 M's. I'm going to figure out what his motivations are deep down. So you got 2 choices. I can wire you $1 billion, okay? But you have to be celibate for 15 years. No sex, no women, nothing. Or you get to make $100,000 a year, that's all, decent money but not crazy money, for the next 15 years, and you can have the best love life, family, women, sex. Which one do you choose?
I choose 100.
You take $100K. So he's more motivated by mating than material things. Okay, that's fine. There's no wrong answers. All right, now the next one. So you have a choice. You got the best love life, sex life, family life. You're making $100K. That's option A. Option B is make $100K a year. You have an average love life, ups and downs. Maybe you're not with the woman of your dreams, but you have the ultimate freedom. Nobody tells you what to do. You can travel wherever you want to go. You just have a life, no schedule. Your schedule. Which one do you choose between those? Amazing love life, sex life, family life, but not so much freedom, or just like crazy freedom?
Crazy freedom.
All right, so you're freedom. Okay. So we now know mating, material things, not your highest. Freedom. You're like me. But here's the last one. Men are motivated by mastery status. That's the 4th M. So you got a choice. Make $100K a year. You're free, your own schedule, do whatever you want. Or $100K a year, and you don't have that much freedom, but you're the man. Everywhere you go, people open the door for you. You go to a club, they put you in front of the line. You come here, they ask you to speak. This one over here, you have freedom, but nobody knows who you are.
Take the freedom.
So you're freedom.
Freedom.
Okay. It's important to know who you are. I'm a freedom guy too. My highest is freedom. Then mating and mastery is my second. They're tied. And then my least motivating thing is material things. That's why when I did my video here in my garage, you know what I love more than material things? I was actually telling the truth. Knowledge, exactly. Okay, so here's the trends. I'm going to just pretend like there's only one person in this room. Here's what I suggest for you. How much money are you making right now, if you don't mind sharing?
600.
Okay, $600,000 a year. And you live in LA.
San Diego.
You live in San Diego. 1 to 100, how good's your freedom right now?
Not good.
Not good.
Because I'm in the business.
Because you're in the business, you're making more money, more problems, more people to manage, more of that. Man, I'll tell you the most legit get-rich-quick scheme in history. Make $100,000 a year online and move to Brazil, Thailand, Philippines. Why don't you move?
That's where my mind is at, actually. That's what
There we go. I read your mind.
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
I mean, so how do you make your money now?
Construction. I have a construction company.
So if you weren't there running it all the time, would it go to shit?
It would, like within months.
So you need to figure out how to make an online business where you teach people how to become general contractor. And you can do, where are you from originally? Where's your family from? Mexico. Shit, why not go live in Mexico? $100,000 a year in Mexico's like $600,000 in San Diego.
I think about it all the time.
Go live in, I mean, really.
I couldn't before because I didn't have papers. I just recently got my papers. Like
You got your papers.
Yeah.
You manifested it. So I guess what I was trying to say is the most important trend of all is match your goals with your personality. Because I know a lot of dudes that are chasing someone else's dream without realizing it. So they're following somebody on social media that shows I don't know, maybe they show cars all the time and you don't give a shit about cars. You just care about freedom. Match your personality with your goals. I would say 80% of the world is mismatched. And it's hard to ever do well if you're mismatched. So for me, it was one of the hardest things for me to realize was like, wait, Ty, you're not actually that motivated by material things. I don't mind material things, don't get me wrong. But if I had a choice between a life of freedom and living in an apartment in different cities in the world all year or living in a mansion in Beverly Hills, I'd definitely pick apartment. That's just how I am. But let's be real here. Who would have taken the $1 billion? Raise your hand. 15 years, no sex. You don't care. Is that because you're shy and you're like, I'm not even doing well with women now. So might as well get paid to be alone. No, what were you saying? You got a wife?
No, I said because I've had it enough.
Oh, you've had enough sex? Okay. I don't know if that's how sex works. That's like saying I don't need any more food because I've already eaten my whole life. But I'm saying, no, that's fine. That's valid. So how old are you?
17.
You're 17. So 15 years from now, 32,
Y'all be young as hell, bro.
you'll still be fine. You can still have women. But, okay. Who else is taking the $1 billion? Raise your hand high. Where's my money lovers at? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Who here would be like, hell no, I need sex? Raise your hand. Who here is driven by freedom? If you could just have a life free, you don't even need to make that much money. Make $200,000-300,000. Okay. Who here is driven by status? You want to be well known. You want to be famous. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is a room. The highest here is sex and freedom. Some of you all need to open like a sex hotel around the world. You could just go travel, make money, be free. Some kind of weird bondage hotel or something like that. It's funny, every crowd I talk to is different. Like some crowds you'll talk to will be very materialistic. And some crowds that I talk to are just like this, freedom. I'm super freedom based. Now, let's talk about how to get all 4. Would anybody like to know how to get that? Yeah. Get all 4. So, okay. So the way you get all 4 is first you got to prioritize which of these is most important. So for me, I prioritize freedom over everything else. So I have 3 different homes that I live in. I live in LA, Beverly Hills, and then I have a farm, and then I live in Sweden. And I rotate through from one place to another, like 1/3 of my life in each place. And I know for a fact that I make less money because I do that, okay? But that's okay. I can still make enough. I can still make millions, no problem. But you have to accept that everything in life is trade-offs. By the way, who's the guys here that are mostly motivated by women?
Right here.
We got 1. Anyone else? We got 2. Okay. Well, chasing women will make you poor. But that might be how you were born. And so you just got to accept your fate that you're not going to be as rich as that guy over there.
Rich in love.
You can be rich in love, rich in children. You'll be like Elon Musk. Next time I see you, have 14 kids. You have kids?
No kids.
One of my mentors he started the UFC. His name's Rorion Gracie. His dad invented Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And he told me, Tai, I only believe in a man having sex with the possibility of having kids. So that's his religion. And him and his brother they decided they want to have a big empire. So I think him and his brother had 21 kids. And it's the largest sports family in the world. It's pretty cool. They're not the richest people in the world, but he's motivated by the second motivation, mating. He made millions, okay? But if you go in the Guinness Book of World Records, what's the largest sports family in history? They have 40 professional athletes in that family. Yeah. He told me, he said, Tai, I told my wife, I need to have more kids. You're not going to be able to have them all. And he said, there's a woman over here that I know. I'm just going to sleep with her only till she's pregnant and never again. And the wife said, okay. And he said, that woman is strong. I want to have a kid with her. And his wife said, okay. And so he had a kid with her. And that's Rickson Gracie, who's the most famous athlete of all of them. So for those of you guys that are super mating motivated, you could live an unconventional life like that. You know, you can live an unconventional life. Now, for those of you who are pretty money motivated, that's the important thing. Especially when you're broke, everybody. Who here is a little bit broke, so you're super money motivated? You're like, forget women, forget freedom, lock myself in a room. There's a guy on Twitter right now who locked himself in his apartment until he made $1 million. So I was watching every day. He would post a picture of him. It's like day 27. Finally, he gave up and left. I saw the other day. He's like, I can't handle it anymore. It's like day 90 or something. And so for those of you who are in the lock yourself in a room mode, here's what I think are the best trends. If you truly have no money, like I'm talking zero, if you're an extrovert, become a high-ticket sales closer. But if you're an introvert or even close to that, build an AI automation agency. Like you could start making $30,000 a month. Anybody in this room. Remember, here's the cool thing about AI automations. Usually, like let's say you decided you want to become an accountant. You're going to be competing with dudes who have been accountants for 30 years. There's nobody who's been an AI automation expert. Number one reason that I tell people to start something, they don't want to do it. They go, oh, Tai, I don't feel like I have enough experience to sell my services. I'm like, nobody does. AI automation's 8 months old. You can learn AI automation, and you start charging business owners $2,000 to $25,000 to just install the AI into their business. It can be AI for their marketing, AI for their email, AI for their customer support. It's so easy now. I don't have time to teach you all how to do this, but trust me, AI automation agency. I started SMMA in 2016, teaching people how to do social media marketing agencies. The angle now is AI. Every business owner is like, bro, save me time. Fuck yeah. I just paid a kid that I didn't even know. I never met him. He DM'd me, said, hey, I worked with some of your other friends. I'll install this automation on your Instagram. He charged me $13,000. He's like, $13K up front and then $2,000 a month. I was like, okay. And man, it's made me back 10x. But this kid, I was thinking about him. $13K up front plus $2,000 a month. I'm not going to cancel because he keeps the automation going. So he's going to make about $37,000 off just me. You get 10, 20 clients, you can live anywhere in the world and make $500,000.
What about Brazil?
I love Brazil. I go to Brazil. My son is half Brazilian, so I was in Brazil for New Year's. Brazil is a glorious place. Just don't fucking walk with your cell phone out. Don't be, you want to know a funny story? So like when I go around the world, I have like, security. So in Brazil, you can hire off-duty cops, So I got this guy, he wears like a suit like this. Anyway, I stay in Sao Paulo. It's a 33 million person city. It's bigger than Mexico City. It's huge. And I I was like, let's walk home. After I did a mastermind in Brazil. So it was like midnight. I was like, oh, we're in the nice part of town. Let's walk home. So he didn't say anything, right? I now realize he was thinking, this stupid fucking gringo dude down here. I was like, let's just walk. So we're walking down.
Do you recognize you in Sao Paulo?
Sometimes, but like in the ghetto, not really. I mean, Brazilian people don't speak English. I got to translate all my social media, then I'll be big in Brazil. But anyway, we're walking home, right? And the security guy, he keeps his hands in his pockets, which is weird because most security dudes keep their hands out. So a car comes with tinted windows, a little teeny car, and the light is red, so it stops. The light turns green, the car doesn't go. And me and him are here, and I see it, and I bump him. I'm like, you see that car? He's like, I'm watching them. So we're kind of looking. They drove around the corner. We just kept walking down, and there they were. They came off the road right in front of us. And man, he was carrying a gun in his hand the whole time. He popped that shit out at these guys. That's the first time I've had a security dude have to pull a gun. They don't even keep it in the holster. So if you go to Brazil and you're gonna walk at midnight, make enough money for a security guy. They cost you about $1,000 a month. But Brazil is, I don't mean to scare you off from Brazil. Brazil is one of the great places on earth. Fuck. You know that minimum wage in Brazil is $275. So you can pay way above average and have your chef for $500 a month. So go to Brazil. Anyway, let's go back to the AI automation. So AI automation, if you're an introvert, for sure. It's the best trend right now. And some of you, I guarantee you, if I come back here in a year, one person who listened to me will make their first million from an AI automation agency. You could make 1 to 10 million a year once you're good. But I would say, realistic for most people, you could make 100 to 500,000 just doing AI installations. And here's the crazy thing. If you really think you suck at tech, you can hire people from the Philippines off Upwork to do all the installation for you. So charge the client $5,000 to $10,000, and then you can pay $500 for somebody in the Philippines off Upwork to do it for you. Then you build yourself a little team. Then you can just become the sales face of the business. Get on the phone, call businesses. You can even set up an AI automation that will send cold emails to 10,000 businesses a day. That's what I'm starting to do. Just email them. Even if you only get a very low response, it's no work, just auto. And the AI will write different emails for every business. So AI is like, for those of you that are a little bit, you don't know what you're gonna do, and maybe you're not extroverted enough to do phone sales. Now, phone sales for extroverts is a legit way to make your first 100 to 300K. But AI automation, you can make your first mil. You can't do, I don't think, very few salespeople in the world make $1 million a year commissions. But AI agency people, you can make, some of you would make 300 to $1 million, and it's basically all profit. And then you got your foot in the door with these business owners. Remember, when you're poor, sell to rich people because they have more money than time. Write that down. When you feel poor, sell to rich people because they got more money than time. If you save a rich guy an hour a day, he'll gladly send you $10,000 or $20,000. He's got way more money in his bank account. I once did a deal with a business partner of mine. This is how much money some people have. He's an older guy in Florida, and we were buying a company, and the bank was like, we need proof of funds. We were on a Zoom, and he was like super offended. It's like, don't ever ask me that again. Don't you know who I am? And he pulled up on a laptop, his personal JP Morgan account. He had $860 million in cash in his checking account and savings account. So there's dudes like that. I promise you, he's hiring AI automation people right now for his businesses. That guy don't give a shit. If you were the best AI automation person, you could prove it, he'd pay you $100,000. He doesn't care. So AI is the dream for business owners. Every business owner in here feels like there's not enough hours in the day. And so for the first time in the history, robots running on nuclear power are solving people's problems. I think I'm going to reduce my work from 12 hours, 10 hours a day to like 3 by the end of this year, which is insane. I could run 50 companies working 3 hours a day. So go deep down. If you don't, let me give you all some websites that you should this will be worth my whole talk, just these websites. Go check out this website. It's called, let me give you the exact, it's not a .com. It's free to try it, okay? And this is unbiased. I don't make any money. I don't own this. It's called Bolt.new. Bolt, like a screw, a nut, a bolt. Bolt.new, lightning bolt. Okay? This morning, I built 2 apps that I'm going to launch in the App Store while I was doing something else. I'm not even a computer programmer. With Bolt, you could build an app. Who here has a dream for a cool app, but you don't know how to get it launched? You could launch 60 apps this year. I saw there's a guy in Turkey. He launched 9 apps in the last year. How much money do you think he made in the last 12 months from his apps in the App Store? 250 million US. He lives in Turkey. That's a fucking country. $250 million in Turkey. You can't even spend it. Shawarmas, whatever. 250. What is 200? It's cheaper to live in Turkey than almost anywhere in the world. So he's making $250 million a year from 9 apps. Well, you could clone. One of them's a phone storage cleaner app. One of them is like a motivation app. I saw that. I was like, I got to build this. So you go to Bolt.new, start playing around with this. I think you can do it for free. You just talk into it and tell it to build the app. It's insane. Now, there's another one that I like. It's called Replet. So like R like red, E-P like Paul, lit, L-I-T, Replet. They're competitors. Bolt, the first one I gave you, and Replet. Who here really want, you said you're 17, you really want to make money? I'm telling you, then you Replet and Bolt. You should get a tattoo. You have any tattoos? First tattoo, Replet, Bolt. And get it removed once you get good at them. Because in a month, you can be as good as almost anybody on earth with those websites. In a month. I've been helping people make money for a long time. I've never seen this opportunity. So, okay, another one is called Lovable.dev. Very interesting site to design your site. If you want to have a really pretty landing page, just go to Lovable.dev, talk to it. Say, hey, I want to have a red landing page that has polka dots that pops up unicorns when they hit the website. And you just type it in and it builds it. And by the way, I have a woman who works for me that she had a nasty divorce, lost all her money. She was basically almost homeless in Florida. And I told her, hey, why don't you build websites for people using AI? That's what she does now. She's making about $15,000 a month, from rags to $15K a month net in her pocket. And that's only 3-month-old business. She said she'll probably be at $50,000 a month. And she set up a little team in Africa that does all the work. Now AI will build websites for people. Go around to business owners and like, your fucking website sucks. All business owners' website sucks. Now you learn how to do Lovable.dev. It builds it for you. You don't have to have any skill. It's crazy. It's truly the craziest thing I've seen. This morning when I was building these 2 apps, I was like, I can't even believe. I had to tell a guy who works for me, you got to come see this. I don't even think this is real. It sat there, it was like, give us 7 minutes and we'll build you a full iPhone app. Not a simple one either. I gave it a complicated app to build. So there's a guy who follows me on Twitter. Check out this app. It's called Cal, like calorie, .ai or Cal AI, okay? He's 21. Who here is 21 or near 21? Okay, this kid 9 months ago was making 0. He built a calorie tracking AI app using those tools I just gave you all. There's some tools I can see how much money they're making in the App Store, $2 million a month. He has to give 30% to Apple, so that's 600,000. So he's left 1.4. He's not doing any marketing. So my guess is he's netting $1 million a month. It's 9-month-old business. Yeah.
17.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, he started at 17, just like you. So you don't even have to give up on women, man. Get on Bolt and Replet and Lovable. And so, okay. Any quick questions on that before I change subjects? Yell it out. Don't be shy. Yes? Do I think AI is the best way to make money right now? I think if you're introverted at all, yes. If you're a crazy extrovert, then you should be the sales guy for the AI agency that your introverted friend is running with you. Get a business partner. Introverts do better with tech because they'll just lock themselves in the room. Extroverts need to talk to people. So if I was a hardcore extrovert, I would build a business with an introvert. I do all the sales, bring the customer. He does all the behind the scenes work, and we split the money 50-50. Find somebody you know. People create more wealth with business partners than alone. Elon Musk at PayPal, there was 23 business partners. You know that? 23 people had shares. Elon had the most. He had like 15%. It's called the PayPal Mafia. Worked out pretty well for him. He's worth almost $500 billion. So I think you were asking me if AI is the best. There's never the best for every single human. But yeah, if I was going to bet on one strategy, if everybody in this room wanted to launch another stream of income, nothing's going to beat that. Nothing. And you can learn it. By the way, if you're using AI to build an app and you don't know how to do it and you feel lost, you fucking just say, I feel lost. And if it gives you an explanation you don't understand, you know what I tell it? Wait, say this like I'm a third grader. And it'll make you an analogy like, okay, well, AI is like if there was an apple here and you do an apple there. It's funny. You can just get done. You can just pretend like you're the done. So who here feels like they want to make a lot of money, but you're not sure if you're the sharpest, smartest person around? Who doubts their own intelligence? With AI, you're now smarter than your nerdiest friend. Really. It's pretty insane. So, okay. I'm going to switch subjects because, yeah. Let's talk one thing mindset-wise that I think is important. Whenever I tell people how to make money, I always include something on mindset because I've seen people where I give them like a money machine and they fuck it all up. You know what I'm talking about? Who here has a friend, no matter what, everything they touch gets fucked up? Who here has a friend, every woman they date is fucking insane? Like if there's 2 women, this woman over here is nice. My best friend, one of my best friends, he's a Latin guy from Argentina. He had choice between marrying 2 women. And I mean, I was like, marry this one, marry this one, marry this one. I beg you. Which one does he marry? 10 years later, he's like, I should have fucking listened to you. So, if you got that friend, I don't want to tell too much of the story because I'm still friends with the one that he did marry, so maybe we don't put this video out. She's Colombian. She might send her Pablo Escobar family to get me. Medellin. So what I was saying is, there's people in this room that even if I show you, even if you shadowed me for a month and I built the business with you, you have the wrong mentality, so you're just it'll be destroyed. I'm gonna build a skyscraper and you're gonna accidentally knock it down. So I'm gonna give you the simplest and the shortest amount of time, the mindset things you have to just quickly change, okay? And they sound simple, but they're actually powerful, okay? I've tested them in my life, and I've tested them with, over 400 million people have watched my videos over the years, and so I've seen what works for other people. So here's the number one thing. Write this phrase down. Mad scientist. Mad scientist. People also often say, Tai, what's your legacy? What do you want to be? I call it, what do I want on my tombstone, on my grave? And I want them to say, well, he wasn't perfect, but he was a damn good mad scientist. Mad scientists, have you ever noticed if you look at the 10 richest men in the world, what do they all look like? Elon Musk can't even talk normal. You know what I mean? He's like, have you ever seen him? He does those like live things with Donald Trump. He's a mad scientist. He's building rocket ships. They blow up sometimes. Remember you see like in a movie, a mad scientist blows shit up? I just saw a $1 billion rocket just blew up. He's like, oh well. So his mindset is, I will experiment without giving up till I find the winner. So that's the winner's mentality in 2025. You're just a mad scientist. So you're not always saying, hey, Tai, what is the best business? You're like, hey, Tai, what's the first experiment I should launch this week? And then if it blows up, I don't care because my identity is a mad scientist. You can't, that's like the thing about me. Like, I get haters and people bring up negative things. I'm like, you can't affect me because I don't see myself as a person who's perfect. I see myself literally as a mad scientist. That's why a lot of people say, Tai, I can't figure out what the fuck do you do. Do you do marketing? Do you do this? I don't know. I'm like, bro, I'm undefinable like that. So number one thing I want you to change in your mindset is from the fixed mindset, like I'm going to find the one thing that makes me money and I'm going to do it and be like, yo, I'm going to be a mad scientist. And let me tell you why we all have that incorrect mindset. It's because the school system completely programs you backwards. What does a school system do? Everybody gets a test. Everybody has to answer exactly the same. SATs. Well, SATs is not how life is. You think making money is like SATs? You think there's one book I can study, and then everybody who studies this book makes $1 million? Hell no. Because life is too many dynamic angles. So school has actually programmed me and you. I spent years unprogramming my brain to go, wait a second. Elon Musk says failure is irrelevant unless it's catastrophic, meaning he doesn't even care. Write that down. Failure is irrelevant unless it's catastrophic. So don't do anything that will cause these 3 scenarios. Put you in a supermax prison, don't do that. Hard to recover. Don't do anything to your health that's going to give you a disease, okay? And don't do anything that's going to make you so depressed you kill yourself. Every other thing you do is the richest man in the world. Forget what I'm saying. He says it's irrelevant. Irrelevant literally means who fucking cares? He said he thought 3 times he'd be bankrupt in the last 5 years. And he said, but I didn't really care because I'm a mad scientist, so I'll make my money back again. So if I could leave you with one change in mindset, it's just failure is irrelevant unless it's catastrophic. So don't be out road rage. Don't drink too much, guys. Like 70% of crimes that end up, dudes with a good life that end up ruining it all, alcohol. My dad went to prison for a long time, alcohol. My dad was an alcoholic. So that's one real practical thing. I tell everybody, here's a secret to drinking. Because I do believe you could drink a little bit and be fine. I've tested it on my body. But what I do is I take the best tequila in the bar, order it. So it's expensive enough you don't want to keep buying more. But like, there used to be a bar in LA that it was a tequila bar. They had $500 shots. Okay? There's a lot of where was that place we went to, Rome in LA? Shit, we went there. Rome got a drink. I got a drink. I was with a woman. 2 good tequilas. His drink was $275 fucking dollars. Remember that? I was like, welcome to LA, man. LA is an expensive city. But get that $200 tequila, put 1 ice cube in it, drink it slow all night. All night. That's all I do, and I don't feel any effects. So that's why I said, guard yourself from shit that will be catastrophic. Supermax, any kind of disease, and watch your alcohol, guys. Hitting somebody with a car, I'm Latino, so I know how fucking Latinos are with alcohol. I drive it a lot. Okay, next mindset thing. After mad scientist, that's the first. That's the most important if you don't remember anything. The second one is turning off your emotions more. And this is completely opposite of what the whole world tells you. So the whole world basically tells you to be in touch with your emotions, go to a therapist, bring out your inner childhood trauma. Now, I'm not a professional therapist, so I'm not gonna speak to whether that's true or not, but I know dudes who make money. I've been in business with 4 guys on the Forbes list. These motherfuckers can become emotionless. So if you wanna, be an enlightened being or something, then go to therapy. If you wanna make 100 million, be able to turn your emotions off on a switch. Now, I don't think when you're with your family and kids, you need to be able to turn it back on. That's why I said it needs to be a switch. I don't think a man should become emotionless because then your kids will be scarred. But when I go into business, man, I'm telling myself, who here ever wakes up feeling discouraged? You know the solution to feeling discouraged? Feeling nothing. I'm serious. What's the solution to feeling discouraged? Feel nothing. Be like, I ain't trying to be happy. I'm not trying to be sad. The solution to feeling discouraged as an entrepreneur is just feel nothing. Then when you go back with your kids, turn it back on at night and be a nice, jolly dad. Okay? But emotions, being the bitch of your own brain, I'll bet against any man here who's too connected to his emotions. Like, this fucking guy ain't gonna make money. Guys who make money are like poker players. They can you ever been to Vegas where there's dudes playing poker all night? These fucking dudes, I was just there playing poker. They don't make one, they're just like, no emotion, can't see their eyes. You gotta be like that. Because each of you, you're gonna have to go through the 10 dark years. Every single person who does big things goes through the 10 dark years. Look, Elon Musk built his first business and sold it when he was like 14. How old was he when he made his first billion? 42, 41, 27 years. Then I meet some dude who's like, bro, I'm gonna be a billionaire in a year with my company. I'm like, you fucking smarter than Elon? I don't think so. So he went through his 20 dark years. 20 dark years. Now, I'm not saying every single person here will have 10 years of pain, but I'm just saying some of you will have 15. I have a friend, I went to a club in LA a while back with like 4 guys. I went to Nightingale. This is like for a Halloween party. I threw a Halloween party afterwards. And that table, I was looking at the guys I invited and I was like, this table has 12 billion of net worth at it, okay? And one of the guys that was there, he started Poker Stars. You ever heard of Poker Stars? Yeah. And he sold it. You can see him on the Forbes list. He's the richest bachelor in the world, by the way. So going back to you, he didn't give it. But he told me he sold for $4.8 billion cash. Who here would like to wake up and have a wire for $4,800 million? Yeah, he gave his dad $800 million and he kept the other $4 billion, okay? But I know that behind the scenes, he said, Tai, you know what people don't know? I fucking grinded for 15 years not knowing if I was going to really make money, and only in the last year or 2 did I really think I was going to make this much money. So he went through his 12, 14 years dark. When I say dark, you can't quite see the outcome. You can't quite see if everything you're doing is worth it. So some of you are who here is already feels like you already been through 10 dark years?
Every day.
Every day is a dark year? Some of you will figure it out in 3 years, but I'm telling you, there's a learning curve to making money, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Does that make sense? So like I gave you all this AI automation thing. I did this same trend on stage in London in 2020, right before COVID. And I told people back then, you know the best opportunity? Build a funnel agency. You build marketing funnels for companies, okay? I forgot I said it. After COVID, I was back in London. A guy comes to my conference and said, Tai, you remember me? I'm like, who are you? He's like, oh, my name's Shakir. He's like, you gave a little, it was a small little dinner I did. He's like, you said the next big thing's funnel agency. So I went out, he bought funnels.com. I don't know how the fuck he got that domain. And he made 13 million, he's making 13 million a year. And he's 28, 29. He probably makes 7 million net in his pocket. So that's a guy that I gave the thing, the idea, but he had the mindset and he didn't give up. He said he didn't make money right away. The first year it didn't work, but he just stuck to it. And all of a sudden, boom, within 3 years he's making 10 to 20 million a year. He charges $15,000 to build a marketing funnel. He has a whole team that does it like in the Philippines for him. Costs him $500 and he charges the client 15 grand. You know? So I just want you all to know that don't just listen to the first part of my talk where I was talking about building an AI automation agency and go, oh, Tai said it's going to be easy, and I won't even ever wake up discouraged. The person who's going to make the most money here with AI is going to be the person who felt the most discouraged and then just said, wait, Tai said I got to turn it off. Feel nothing. Don't feel happy or sad. And they just power through it, and that will be the richest AI person in this room. Just power through it. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about. Before I say any questions on that, I got one last thing and I'm going to go. Yeah.
So I have had mentors that tell me to stay focused in my business. What
Yes.
would you say about that? Like I've always had that mindset where I'm thinking about different business ideas and what to
Right.
undertake and everything.
So your mentors are saying you need to stay focused, and you're saying you're like me, mad scientist, so you want to do new things. Okay, let's be honest. When I say be a mad scientist, I'm not saying you have to do 50 businesses at once. There's an old saying, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. What I'm saying is launch a business. It's okay to quit a business, by the way. You shouldn't quit because of how the business makes you feel. You should quit because maybe the market doesn't want that product. Most guys quit out of emotion. Like they wake up and they're like, this is a hard business. By the way, you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. So you should actually be asking me. I'm always impressed by the dude who says, Tai, what's the hardest way to make money? That if I figure it out, no one else will ever do. That's the most guaranteed money for life. Think of what Elon Musk is doing. He's like, let me figure out how to put a rocket ship on Mars, then send it back from space and land it, not in the ocean like NASA, but land it and then catch it. You saw where they caught that thing? No one's ever been able to figure that out. All of NASA since the 1960s couldn't figure it out. Elon was like, I gave my team, 1 year to figure it out. So the answer is you should focus on one thing, then logically, not emotionally, evaluate it like a mad scientist. You're like, okay, I made 100 cold calls for my AI automation agency. Not one person was remotely interested. Then what I would take from that, I wouldn't be discouraged. I'd be like, I need a sales guy who's a better salesperson. There's no reason I should call 100 people and get no sales. But I wouldn't have any emotions. Most dudes go, oh, I get people message me, bro, I'm thinking of committing suicide. I'm like, why? He's like, I'm not making money. Like, hey, I'm not even laughing at people like that. I get that all the time. But I think of one of my mentors when I told him a few years ago, you remember Bed Bath & Beyond? You know, they went through they were going into bankruptcy. The CFO, the chief financial officer, jumped out of a building. When I was living in New York, jumped out of the top of a building, killed himself from the pressure of Bed Bath & Beyond. This is just a few years ago. When that happened, I called my mentor, and big stock guy in Manhattan. I go, hey, what do you think about this guy committing suicide? He goes, he's just a pussy. I was like, fuck that guy. He's like, those kind of guys should never be in business to start with. So what my mentor was saying is that guy should have just turned off his emotion. Bankruptcy is not catastrophic. In America, you can go bankrupt infinity times. You know that? Yeah, Donald Trump. The average billionaire has 1 or 2 failed businesses. It's not, don't kill yourself over that. Losing all your money is not that big of a deal. As long as, the number one thing, if you ride bike, wear a helmet, because you're going to need your brain in the modern world. Don't get hit on the fucking head. That's more catastrophic. If you gave me a choice, hey Tai, you're going to have still your brain, your health, lose all your money and start over, or you can have a good business, but your brain stops working or gets weak or you get a disease. Those are much, I don't have the answer. Go to a therapist if you have terminal cancer. That's tough. But a lot of people in this room are freaked out about nothing. You're like, hey, I ain't making any money. Well, I got good news for you. There's only way up then. Like, the worst person in this room is the dude making just enough money doing something he hates that he's not going to quit it. So that means there's guys in this room. So who here is broke? Just raise your hand. Okay, you're broke. I'm not going to ask the other person right there, but you're doing better than a guy. You know what? In some ways, you might be doing better than him, not to call you out. He's making $600,000 a year in something he doesn't like that he feels trapped in. But it's hard to give up $600K, right? So he's a prisoner of his success. You are a free man, just a poor one. You're like a dude that was released for prison. You see Shawshank Redemption? They're like, you're out, brother. So I'm not saying you're better than him. I'm just saying you both have different crosses to bear. So for those of you really failing, don't freak out. For those of you in the middle, you're kind of working, more experiments. And for those of you really making a lot of money, don't get cocky. Because you got momentum now. Don't ever lose your momentum. You remember Tarzan in like a rope? He would go from one tree to another. One of my mentors was a billionaire. He said, Tai, always swing from vine to vine and never stop. So for those of you crushing it, who here is making a lot of money, but they're kind of bored of their business? Be honest. Yeah, stop that.
Hey,
How
Tai,
much money are you making?
So
Yes.
for example, there's 54 CEOs,
Yes.
ticket holders. So they pay $10,000 for their ticket.
Yes.
So there's 54 CEOs. They pay $10,000 for their ticket. They're in the front rows right here.
Yes.
So most of them, I would say 90%, they own a small business.
Yes.
They're making maybe $1 million plus a
Yes.
year. So what advice do you have for them?
So if you're in that 1 to 10, I call this the danger zone. 1 to 10 million a year is the danger zone. Because you can be making just enough money that you pay the bills, but almost no profit. Who here is making 1 to 10 million without much profit? Be honest. Yeah, that can happen to you. Okay, so here's what you have to do. You got to decide, in general, you want a business that can do 30 million a year. That's safe. If you can do 30 million a year, it means you can hire better employees. You can have better consultants. 1 to 10 is not my favorite. Like if I thought I had a business that could only make 1 to 10 million, I would shrink the business and just make $800,000 a year with 2 staff. But if I was stuck at 4 million, I'd be like, I got to get this thing to 30 million. One thing to consider, buy businesses. Now, I don't have time to do that. But yesterday at my mastermind, I had a guy, Chris Danielson from Canada. He was doing 10 million a year at the beginning of last year, and now he's doing 50 because we bought his competitors. So some of you CEOs that you're in that 1 to 10 danger zone, you need to either get smaller or sell your business or do the big baller move. Buy your competitors. Call them up. It's crazy. You might get lucky. You call your competitor and he's burnt out from his business and he'll sell it to you for no money down. I've done that before. I bought a company once, 2013. I bought this company. 2 business partners were fighting. I told the guy, I'll buy you out since you hate each other. I said to the one, I was like their mentor. So I was acting like the therapist, kind of. 2 guys yelling at each other. One guy had done ayahuasca. You know what ayahuasca is?
Yeah.
So he had decided he doesn't care about money anymore. So he stopped working, and the other fucking guy was doing all the work, but they still had to split the money. So they were fighting. So I went to the guy that had done all the ayahuasca. I said, hey, look, man, I'll buy you out, but I'm not going to give you any money up front, but I'll give you 10 grand a month till I pay it off, like $500,000 for like 50 months. So I bought that business. I improved their marketing. I added an extra $250,000 a month, and I had to pay him 10. So I pulled out I made myself $100K a month out of thin air after I paid that guy. And then at the end, I just sold it back to the other partner. I made like 3,000% return on my money. Because when you put no money down, it's infinity. So for those of you who are CEOs, I'll leave you with that because I'm going to go. But the most advanced thing to do, I talked about for beginners that are trapped. The advanced move is to become a mogul. Moguls buy things. What did Mark Zuckerberg start? Facebook. Who here uses Facebook every day? Raise your hand. Okay? Who started Instagram? Not Mark Zuckerberg. Who here used Instagram today? Who here used WhatsApp today? So, of the $1 trillion Meta net worth, 800 billion of it comes from stuff that Mark Zuckerberg bought. And he bought Instagram for $1 billion. Everybody said he was crazy. It's worth 400 or 500 billion now. He made 500x on his money. So you can buy simple local businesses, buy your competitors, call them up, go golf with them. Never assume that you can't buy something for crazy cheap. If you talk to 20 business owners, that's the way you could go from 10 million to 30 million in 6 months. I just helped a guy go from 10 million to 50 million. And by the way, he had to put down $600,000 to buy that business that increased his revenue by 40 million. He had to put down only 600 grand to make 40 million increase. So that's a whole nother conversation, but to answer your question, Albert, that's what I would say. Okay, one last question on any subject, and then I'm gonna be out. Anything.
How do you start? What's the difference between starting something now that's gonna build up fast, make you a lot of money, and building something now that might not make you money for years, decades, whatever, but make you
So what's the balance between something you could do now that makes you money fast, but not that much money, versus something you build slow that wouldn't make you money at the beginning, but make you money later? Do you have kids at 17? You should do a little bit of the slow thing. You don't have any pressure. Do you live at home?
Yeah.
Are your parents going to throw you out?
Probably.
They're going to throw you out?
At 18? Yeah.
When are you 18?
9 months.
You're fine. I would build an AI thing if I was you. You'll be fine. Build it a little slow. Give yourself a year. You should be making 10 to 50,000 a month. I'd build an AI agency. Are you in high school?
Yeah.
Do you have time?
No, I can make time.
Shit, school's a waste of time now. With AI, I don't even know how schools are going to exist. I saw a video of a kid, the professor's talking. He's got one phone recording and the other phone talking into ChatGPT and giving him all the notes, and he was asleep. Like, fuck that. Yeah. If you were my son, I'd be like, bro, I'm pulling you. You don't need, forget high school degree. This isn't the 1960s. I'd be like, sit your ass down 8 hours a day. Bolt, Replet, Lovable.
So I'm working with a high-ticket setter right now.
High ticket setter, it's okay. Well, then are you making any money?
Third week, not yet.
Have you made one sale yet?
Yeah.
How much did you make?
150.
What are you selling?
Sales training.
For $1,500 and you get 10%?
No, it's more than that. But that was a down payment.
Yeah. Okay. So you made 150 in commissions. You can do that too. But that doesn't scale.
Yeah.
That doesn't scale. Build an agency, man. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And let me shoot a quick Snapchat. Thank you, Albert. Happy birthday, my friend.